What's good, YouTube? This is Nate from the Scrub Academy, welcoming you to my 4th place finish at the Omaha Regional last week, right before the ban list actually came into effect. I waited this long because I actually hadn't gotten my mat yet. They didn't have them at the Regional, so I finally got it in the mail today, so I'm going to do my deck profile. I was playing True Draco. Now, before anybody goes into the comment section, yes, I realized that I was playing with the previous ban list, but I'm also going to be showing you what I'm going to be changing in the deck moving forward because I'm still planning on playing the deck. So I'll go through my matchups real quick, and then after that we can go and jump into the deck profile. 4 out of my 8 matches, I went X1 by the way, X1. Last table was at table 1 and I won for 4th place. But the matchups that I had were 4 of them were the Mech Knight Invoked deck. That was pretty fun because every single one of them wanted me to go first. They could use their Mech Knights and just really allowed me to power through my deck real quick, get all my floodgates, and then they couldn't do anything. So they really made that mistake. And they kept doing it. Like I'd win game 1, going first, and then game 2 they'd choose me to go first again. I'm like, okay, let's do this again, whatever. Let's see here. I also played against Goki, the FTK for Pendulums, beat both of those. Then I played against, the one match that I lost was 60 card Light Sworn Plant whatever thing. The only reason I lost that is because he went first game 1. I opened my hand, looked at it, I had 5 spells. He ended up making Nat Beast turn 1. Alright, so I scooped to go to game 2. Hopefully he would know what I was playing. And then I went first that next game thinking I could do a lot, and I had an amazing hand. So I terraformed real quick, grabbed my diagram, and he draw unlocked me. And that kind of shut me down a lot. So from there, I ended my turn. I probably could have done something there. I think I misplayed a little bit, but it just kind of screwed me up a lot. And then he made Nat Beast again in his first turn, and then I couldn't do anything at all. So that was my one loss for the day. I'm trying to think. Oh, my last matchup was Spiral, so I did play Spiral as well. That was probably my quickest match. But yeah, so those were my matchups. Anything that would change about the deck? Not really. Deck was pretty solid all around. I never really ran into any problems with any of the cards I had in the main deck. I did lose once to my own Imperial Order, but that's because I foolishly made it when I didn't have another monster hand to tribute it off the next turn. So that was my fault, my bad, wasn't the deck's doing. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and jump into the deck profile real quick, and I'll show you what I've got going on. Alright, so let's go ahead and get jumped into this deck profile. Like I said, this was True Draco, so first off, we always got to have our Scrub Academy Field Center, so let's put that off to the side. And then we got our 3 Mono Iwado, one of the best cards in the deck, stops all the hand traps in the world, and that's what we need it for. Next up, we're playing 2 Majesty Maiden. Majesty Maiden's pretty good. Allows you to search out everything, including your now banned Masterpiece. So, pretty good. Not going to bump this up to 2 in the next list. I'm probably going to wait till the end of the profile to talk about what I'm changing for the deck. Then we also have the 1 Ignis, because it was at 1, now at 3. And then, obviously, the 2 big boys themselves, the Masterpiece. Rest in peace, him. Moving on to the spells, we've got 3 diagram and our 3 terraforming, so we have lots of ways to search this out. Hopefully to see this as quick as possible, because you never want to be without this in your opening hand. You either want to get that terraforming, you want to have the diagram, one of the 2. Then we do have the 3 Heritage and the 3 True Draco Phoenix. Yet again, both are really good cards. Not only does it do a lot of the popping of the spells and traps on your opponent's side, but it also allows you to recycle with your True Draco Phoenix. And with your Heritage, you get to draw possibly up to 3 if you can. Usually I was drawing 2, at least 2 each time. So that was the only spells, obviously, for True Draco. Moving on to like the rest of the draw engine, we do have the 3 Card Demise. Definitely a card that probably should have been hit because of how good it is. I'm glad it didn't, just because I finally have mine. I didn't have them before. I used to like borrow these all the time, but now I finally got my own. So definitely want to keep those around as long as possible. Then we have 2 Pot of Duality. We're playing 2 instead of 3. I felt like 3 was really bricky. I ended up Pot of Duality into a Pot of Duality, and that just kind of stops me in my place because that's 1 card less of what you're going to see than what you might want. And then we're seeing 2 Pot of Desires. This weekend it only really affected me once. I think one time he made Beals, and there's a point he made Beals on me, which is really good on his part because I couldn't really get around it. And I had the 1 out in my deck, which was actually the next card, the 1 Stormforth, so I could Stormforth it away. I wasn't seeing it, and I knew he was going to be doing some pretty critical damage to me, so I Pod Desired, and I banished 2 of my diagrams as well as the Stormforth, He didn't realize I banished the Stormforth though, because I made sure, like when I was looking through it, I made sure to say, oh, my diagram. So he kind of just thought I just banished my diagram, that's it. But I also banished that. So the only way that I was able actually to win that game is he didn't realize that this next card I'm playing, 3 of the Apocalypse, he didn't realize that this card right here was like a continuous effect. So when you activate the effect to send one of your face-up 2 Draco cards, and it would have the attack, he didn't realize that was permanent until it was too late, obviously. And literally, I just kept doing this every single turn and just making sure that I had something to send from the fields of the grave, just so I could just keep having that Beel's attack. And then I was finally able to just win the game that way. Then we were also playing the 1 True King's Return with Dynamite coming back. This is going to be really good. Wish it would have came back to more than that, but you can only have 1 Call of the Haunted in the deck, obviously, I guess. So, moving on, we have these 2 Erupt. I feel like 3 was too much. 2 was just the right amount. You got to see it as much as you wanted, pretty much. You do need to make sure and reiterate that this thing does check at your end phase. So if your opponent gets rid of your monster during their turn, the effect still is holding on the negates until your next end phase. So you still have 1 more turn to try and get to your next tribute summon monster. So still a lot better than what you think it could have been. And you don't have to pay life points, so really super busted. And then one of the winners, and something that might bump up to 3 here in the upcoming format with the new ban list, 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. The only reason I really want to play 3 of this is because of the fucking Sky Strikers. I really do not appreciate them or what they can do. So if I can go first and set up a anti-spell, I definitely will. Moving on, we got the 2 Rivalry Warlords. Really good card, helped me in a lot of games. Really saw people in their track, especially if they were trying to link summon because they really couldn't move on with their play. So that helped me a lot. And then final 2 cards in the main deck. We have the 1 Skill Drain and the 1 Imperial Order. Now this card I actually sided out, these 2 cards I should say, I sided out every single time after game 1. I was just super sketchy about playing against somebody and going into time. And I really did not want to lose in time because of like having these in there and drawing them or top decking them and like, oh, now I have to pay life points for these. So I didn't really want to do that, especially because of the 1 game where I did lose with Imperial Order. I didn't want to have that coming back to haunt me again. So that was the entire main deck. We'll go over the side deck real quick. I didn't really touch it that much. We have 2 Imperial Order. That's more like for anything that banishes, really. I was kind of worried about Inform Noise a little bit, not too much. They weren't seeing that much play. Thought maybe they were going to see a lot more play with the Lair of Darkness structure deck that came out, but it really didn't get touched that much. We've also got 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Ash, 2 Droll, 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 Red Reboot, 2 Torrential Tribute, and the 1 Regeki. Torrential Tributes I kind of threw in there just because I didn't really know what to put in, and I was going through some cards that I bought off a collection, saw them in there, they were shiny and looked neat, so I threw those in. I think I sided them in once, didn't use them. Didn't use the Regeki, didn't use the Red Reboots, those are more for Paleo, or I think just Paleo was the only one I was really worried about there. Didn't see Ghost Ogres. The only 2 that I actually really sided in ever were the 2 Droll and Lock, and then I think I sided in the Imperial Iron Walls. Might have said Imperial Order, but Imperial Iron Wall. I think I sided these in twice against Mech Knight to stop them from banishing themselves, and then also for the Invocation play, I stopped that as well. And then Droll and Lock. Those are the only 2 I ever saw, ever really needed to see, and I was literally just siding out these. So if I knew they were going first, okay, well I'm going to side these out because they're obviously not going to help me in the first place. Side those in, GG, give me a search, or else I'll side these out, side these in if I know I'm going first against Mech Knight because I'm going first, and then GG there as well. So that was the entire deck. The changes that I would make, obviously let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. So the ban list did come out and hit. So Ignis went to 3, and then we also saw the change of Masterpiece getting hit as well. So these are the only changes I'm actually going to talk about because that's most likely the only ones I'm going to make for now, unless Sky Strikers actually make that big of an impact, and then I'll be putting in a 3rd anti-spell. But this puppy right here, I'm actually going to be bumping up to 2 for one of those Masterpiece because it's now gone. And then the last card I'm going to be putting is the 1 Dynamite Knight. So those are the 2 changes that I'm going to be making. As of right now, I'm just going to be putting in a 2nd set of Ignis and then 1 Venomite. I know we are currently throwing around the idea of playing with the Metaltron, but he seems pretty big and it's kind of hard to get out. So that's probably going to be a side card, if anything. Or if we start playing without the Erupts. If we take out the Erupts, then I'll play it, because then you can play extra deck, and then you can also play the Waking the Dragon. So that is all I've got for now, guys. If you did enjoy the build, make sure to give it 2 thumbs up. If you see any criticism of the old deck or of what the current deck is going to be after the changes for the ban list, let me know down in the comment section below. But that is all I've got for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Nate from the Scrub Academy, signing out for now. Peace out.